A technical hiccup kept NASA's giant moon rocket, the Space Launch System, from getting off the launch pad on Monday. So NASA will try again on Saturday, hopeful that its engineers have resolved the issue. Here's what you need to know about the second attempt to begin the Artemis I mission. The launch is scheduled for 2:17 p.m. Eastern Time. In the case of unfavorable weather or technical glitches, the liftoff can be pushed back by as much as 2 hours. To 4:17 p.m. NASA television's online coverage of the Artemis I launch begins at 5:45 a.m., when a commentator will describe the process of filling the rocket's giant propellant tanks. The agency's full coverage will begin at 12:15 p.m. Coverage in Spanish will begin at 1 p.m. Forecasts show that there is a 60% chance of favorable weather at the beginning of the launch window, and the odds improve to 80% by the end of the 2-hour time slot. You can subscribe to the Times' Space and Astronomy calendar to get a reminder on your personal calendar about the launch and other events. If Artemis I gets off the ground, coverage will continue for about 2 hours after liftoff through what is known as the Translunar Injection Engine firing to push the Orion spacecraft out of low Earth orbit on a trajectory to the Moon. If the launch is postponed again, NASA may also try to lift off on Monday, September 5th or Tuesday, September 6th. Current forecasts give a 70% chance of favorable weather on Monday. If the rocket does not get off the ground by Tuesday, NASA will need to roll it back to the Vehicle Assembly Building, which is essentially a giant garage for servicing rockets. A launch attempt after that could be later in September, or in October. The launch was halted on Monday because a sensor reported that one of the rocket's 4 core stage engines was not sufficiently chilled, part of the preparations needed before ignition. The temperatures of 3 of the engines were approaching the target of -420 degrees Fahrenheit, while the temperature of the 4th appeared to be about 40 degrees warmer, said John Honeycutt, the program manager overseeing the development of the Space Launch System rocket. If the engine was too warm, it could have shut down during liftoff. At a news conference on Thursday, mission officials said analysis of other data had convinced them that the temperature sensor was faulty and that the engine actually was sufficiently cold. For astronauts to get to the Moon, they need a big rocket. The Space Launch System is that rocket, the most powerful one since Saturn V took NASA astronauts to the Moon in the 1960s and 1970s. The one waiting on the pad to launch on Monday is 322 feet high, and will weigh 5 million pounds when filled with propellants. The rocket, known as SLS, has some visual similarities to the retired space shuttles.